Try to play it cool, like you're always in the mood, front and down, acting brand new.
There's more misery
to
for
tell
Melbourne.
you what to do, but try play it cool. So basically, I decided to respond or have a visual me watching the news, because I have the day off tomorrow and I get to stay up late because I'm an adult and yeah.
There's more misery for Melbourne tonight, with more residents of an apartment block testing positive to COVID as authorities try to work out how it's spreading. With no end to the city's outbreak in sight, concerns are growing about travel mayhem when schools...
The realization that my clients lied to me. They said we had 0 cases today.
break up next week.
Okay.
Supplies and support for the hundreds of residents with COVID at their doorstep, now locked down after more people were infected at their Melbourne apartment complex.
We got tested yesterday, so we got negative, so we had to get tested again. We will do it.
2 more cases were confirmed there today, making 6 in total.
Those 2 positive cases, again, are connected to some communal areas that we are concerned about, thoroughfares within that particular complex.
The new epicentre of this outbreak, which saw so many people rush to be vaccinated, new bookings will have to wait until a backlog is cleared.
Since the start of this outbreak, over 800,000 Victorians have got themselves vaccinated.
See, with the vaccinations, I'm a bit confused about what the go is with that, because as far as I know, it's 40 years old and over. But then they're saying, go get vaccinated. But then, yeah, like, apparently you can't get vaccinated. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that they need to have some more clarity in relation to that.
Vaccinated.
At Victoria's Parliament, a protest of brides, entertainers, venues, fearing Melbourne's lingering circuit breaker restrictions could break them.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even, like, I work in the hairdressing industry and I work at a pretty busy salon, typically. And, like, the salon that I work at, the reputation for that salon is really high end, right? But I started working there after COVID and I came from salons that seemed way busier than what we've been. And apparently that's across board. Like, people just aren't feeling like getting their hair done. They're not feeling like getting, like I need a new graphics card for my computer so badly. Like, I can't even extend how badly I need a new graphics card. I'm running a 670, right? But I'm skeptical about going out and buying a new graphics card because I feel like I went 2 weeks. That last lockdown really fucked me up. So yeah, as I was saying, the people are scared to spend their money. I was scared to spend my money because I had no income, as in I didn't know when I was getting money. I was freaking out. So,
really hard.
Reliant on gatherings that are still banned.
It's catastrophic, to be honest. People don't have faith in what's to come and they don't know and they're afraid.
As for school holiday
that's how
plans,
I was feeling.
Should they cancel? It's a day-to-day proposition.
A blow to New South Wales businesses hoping for a COVID comeback.
We don't know what's going to happen, and that uncertainty is going to mean hundreds of millions of dollars will disappear.
Well, that uncertainty is why people do not want to spend money right now.
Out of the spending for the tourism sector over that school holiday period.
One holiday that's certainly not an option still is taking a cruise, but the industry is hoping that will soon change, saying more than 40,000 emails have been sent as part of a campaign to get the government to give their ships the green light to sail once again in...
I mean, in the words of Khloe Kardashian, I think, people are dying. Like, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of a rant because I keep hearing about people going, poor me, I can't go on a cruise or I can't go on holiday and all that. And there are literally people out there in other countries that are suffering and dying. And the fact that we're complaining about cruises and all of that BS is essentially BS. Like, we should be okay to, like... It's just really, really messed up that people reckon that it's fine to be like, you know, complaining about all this stuff and ignoring all the other crap that's going on. Like, the amount of times that I see comments where people are like, this is a conspiracy. It's the plandemic. It's the plandemic and you guys are sheeple. It's like... There is evidence of people literally suffering in other countries, and that's fucked up.
In local waters, insisting it can be done COVID safe. Paul Kadak, 7 News.
Good morning and welcome to New South Wales Health's COVID-19 update for Tuesday the 15th of June 2021. New South Wales recorded no new locally acquired cases of COVID-19 in the
Yeah, they just keep, they keep doing things like, sending the Ruby Princess to Victoria. And all of that kind of stuff. Like, when I say Ruby Princess, I mean the people. But they keep, sending COVID to different states. Like, didn't they, send it to Western Australia too? I'm just saying... I know it's not relevant to this segment, but just saying.
Last 8 o'clock last night. 4 overseas acquired cases were recorded in the same period, bringing the total number of cases in New South Wales since the beginning of the pandemic to 5,000.
Okay, I'm going to have another rant here, because I'm not saying I'm triggered, but I figured that this is probably a good thing to rant about or say my piece on. So... as much as I feel bad for the students overseas, I keep seeing them commenting on Scott Morrison's tweets and stuff that they deserve, they should be let back into the country and all that. And these will be people from, high COVID risk areas, such as India and all of that. And as much as I'd like them to be able to come back to Australia, I don't like the idea of the fact that people are coming from overseas and coming and bringing COVID to Australia. That is how we got the Delta, guys. That is literally how we got the Delta. I just don't really think... I think that... I'm really skeptical about having international flights going. But I'm even more, I'm even more frustrated though, because there are people who are actually Aussie who are stuck in other countries, and these students keep going on about how they're suffering and all of this kind of stuff. And it's we can't even get our own citizens here. Why should the students have a right to come here above our own citizens? The fact of the matter is there's no easy solution to the whole thing, and they're doing what they, they're doing what they can to an extent. But the thing is, you can't necessarily be we deserve to come first above the, everybody else. Everybody is in the same boat right now. We're actually really, really fortunate to be in Australia, because I would hate the numbers that India's had. I would hate the numbers that the USA's had. I would hate the numbers that England has had. So the fact of the matter, I'm actually thankful for things like lockdowns and all that, because they've actually helped stop transmission. As much as people say, it's a plandemic, it's fake, blah, 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 they stop transmission. What does not stop transmission is people coming in and then leaking out of hotel quarantines and whatnot. But that's a whole nother situation. The fact like, this is the other thing. People keep complaining about hotel quarantine and saying Dan Andrews did this, Dan Andrews did that, he's shit because of this, he's shit because of that. But at the end of the day, like, with hotel quarantine, not only was that supposed to be a federal responsibility, right? In the first thing, only 2 out of 18 hotels had a leakage, and that's incredibly good for an infectious disease. I mean, the federal government gave the states less than 48 hours notice to set up these quarantines, and people were complaining about how they were set up. I mean, in all reality, I don't think that you should be talking about I don't think you should be talking about Dan Andrews. You should be asking your questions to Scott Morrison.
434.
Sorry for the rant.
8,287 tests were reported to 8 o'clock last night, compared to the previous day's total of 9,479. New South Wales Health administered 12,653 COVID-19 vaccines in the 24 hours to 8 o'clock last night, including 5,986 at the Vaccination Centre at Sydney Olympic Park. The total number of vaccines administered in New South Wales is now 1,718,964, with 598,248 doses administered by New South Wales Health to 8 o'clock last night, and 1,120,716 administered by GP Network and other providers to 11:59 p.m. on Sunday the 13th of June. New South Wales Health is treating 31 COVID-19 cases, none of whom are in intensive care.
Okay, cool.
New South Wales Health would like to thank the communities in areas visited by 2 cases of COVID-19 who travelled through regional New South Wales while potentially infectious for
Didn't
their
we
excellent
click on a
response to
Melbourne
calls
video,
for testing.
like, if I'm honest?
We continue to urge
Like, it
everyone
is-
who resides, works
Yeah.
in or has visited these areas since the 1st of
Okay.
June to be especially vigilant for the onset of even the mildest of cold-like symptoms and to get tested immediately and isolate should they occur.
Also, New South Wales would like to thank the people with COVID for spreading it to all the other states. I'm kidding, but, like, in all honesty, it really does feel like that here.
Remind people to check the New South Wales Health website regularly for the full list of venues of concern associated with these cases,
Okay,
as the health
cool.
advice for some of these venues has been updated. There are more than 300 COVID-19 testing locations across New South Wales. To find your
But
nearest
this is
clinic,
not the
visit
Melbourne.
our website.
I
or
clicked
contact
the
GP.
Melbourne
Thanks very
video.
much.
I clicked the Melbourne video and not the New South Wales one. But the fact of the matter is, like, I mean, we can't really, like, I don't think that we really can complain about the fact that the government keeps putting us in lockdowns, because I would rather go into lockdowns than have this virus spread and then the vulnerable people who would die from it have a high risk of catching it and dying. I would rather, look after the community than, get, like, you know what I mean? Like, all these people who are complaining, let me show you this. Like, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Have to keep the emergency power in place. They can't force the vaccine without it. Should have just said lockdown for a month instead of drawn out this, maybe next week if you're good. The lockdown will drag out to 6 weeks. It was only 2 weeks, by the way. We're out of lockdown now. Just like all the other lockdowns last year, because the same people are still in charge. If you're going to have us locked down forever, at least pay us so businesses will survive. Pretty much. The Queen's birthday and the school holidays are on the horizon. Don't kid yourself. If you think the lockdown will end on Friday, see you in July. The lockdown ended. So, but the thing is, like, like the right thing according to him. Like people have actually been doing there's a lot of conspiracy theorists, especially the first people who comment on the videos usually. Why is Dan Andrews hiding at his mum's in Manfield's property? What's he done? I think I commented on this actually. Let's see. I remember that. You wouldn't want to know. He broke his ribs. He's still recovering. You sure he himself broke his ribs, or did some other person break his ribs and vertebrae for him? Why would someone do that? Why not? I don't think it's incompetence or I don't think incompetence and stupidity should be dealt with through violence. If that's the case, most people in this comments section would also need broken ribs. Is that a threat? How does Dan Andrews... I can't read that out. That's all. Bend over for your supreme leader, CCP Dan Belt Road Number Man. Does your carer know you have access to the internet? Take it however you wish, Chief. On your pal. Stuff you... Okay, that's not the one that I commented on. That last lockdown really fucked me up, where I went 2 weeks where I was like, I have no clue.
Hello, Bambi.
Oh, fuck! Ah! I was filming a YouTube video!
What?
I was filming a YouTube video!
For storming a YouTube video?
No, I'm filming a YouTube video.
Oh, hi, YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna... Maybe I'll just put this in a blooper at the end.
Yeah.
Remember to mute your Discord, kids.
No, don't mute your Discord, because then you get put in YouTube videos and become famous.
I'm gonna mute my Discord.
No!